After releasing some incredible titles such as A Way Out in 2018 and 2021's Game of the Year It Takes Two, Hazelight Studios have once again doubled down on their iconic split-screen co-op formula with their latest release, Split Fiction. With charming characters, impressive sequences, and constantly dynamic gameplay, I thoroughly enjoyed soaking in every single element in this elegant yet chaotic story, and I'm so glad that despite living in a time where companies continuously try to push gaming as a service or blockchain-based skins, Split Fiction shows that what people really want is a well-crafted story with great characters and, most important, a game that is actually fun.
You know what, Zoe? I really needed this.
Split Fiction follows two writers, Mio and Zoe, who have been invited to Radar Publishing with the hopes to secure a publishing deal. Our main characters have never met before, and both are hopeful that securing this deal will see their careers get the big boost it needs. However, instead of signing a publishing deal, the CEO of Radar Publishing, Radar, reveals that Mio, Zoe, and other invited writers have the opportunity to redefine storytelling and asks them to step into a device called the Machine. As each participant accepts this invitation, Mio is apprehensive and upon seeing the other writers trapped in a bubble, becomes suspicious that there may be more to this machine than Radar is letting on.
Screw this. I won't do it. I won't do it.
She tries to escape, but after a brief scuffle, she instead lands in Zoe's bubble. Zoe is taken aback by the fantasy world around her, a world which she created, and the machine allows her to experience in a way that's more than just simple words on a page. But as Mio interrupts her immersion, this causes a glitch to appear. Zoe, frustrated by Mio's presence, asks her to leave the world, with Mio insisting that the pair should find a way out. However, once interacting with the glitch, it teleports them into the science fiction world that Mio has created. The game wastes no time in getting you straight into the chaos, with some clever platforming sequences, impressive visual scenarios, and set pieces forcing Mio and Zoe to work together to overcome what lies ahead. After some frantic air combat, the pair find another glitch which then returns them back to a fantasy world created by Zoe. Instead of airships and laser cannons, the pair find themselves scuttling through a village populated by angry trolls. More chase sequences and fun platforming followed, with Mio and Zoe interacting with the glitch again, but this time to be teleported in a realm between stories, where they can overhear Radar talking to his team about the ongoing situation.
What's the status of the other participants?
All stable. The machine is fully operational and is successfully extracting all of their ideas.
Except these two.
Here they learn that the true purpose of the machine is to extract and steal ideas from writers, not just stories that have been written in the hopes of getting published, but even ideas in the subconscious that have not yet been put on paper. Upon hearing this, Mio and Zoe realize that if they find enough glitches between their two worlds, they should be able to break the machine and stop Radar in his master plan to hijack and own all of creativity. Mio and Zoe themselves are not only voice acted brilliantly by Kaja Chan and Elsie Bennett, but the chemistry between the two characters brilliantly complements both the story and gameplay. The optimistic and bubbly nature of Zoe is well balanced by the more grounded and realistic nature of Mio.
We should avoid the risk of getting even more lost in here.
But couldn't it be worth exploring? Who knows, we might find some answers.
Or it might be a trap.
Or something useful.
A common theme discussed in this game is the idea that no matter how fictional a world you create, elements of your own character and experience tends to seep into that writing, and I think that this is really well exemplified in the worlds we see in Split Fiction. Mio writes in the science fiction genre, and most of her worlds tend to be a futuristic dystopia where there is a higher sense of urgency and frantic, desperate fighting in these worlds, compared to Zoe, who loves exploring these fantasy lands filled with magic and intrigue. A place where you might otherwise escape to if you wanted to unplug yourself from the reminders of modern life.
Pretty.
Behold, the moon market, where creatures great and small come to sell their wares and to have a good time.
As the game develops, you learn more about the lives and backstory behind the two main characters, as well as how their experiences impact their writing. The growth between these two characters also blossoms poetically, as this being a game where you have to play cooperatively with another person, it's really great that they got that dynamic perfect, from great dialogue in the cutscenes, teamwork in the gameplay, or even these lovely moments on a bench where initially they sit at opposite ends of each other as if they are strangers waiting for a bus, but they over time sit closer as friends safe in each other's company. It Takes Two did a great job with writing two characters who are at ends with each other, whereas having Mio and Zoe who are foreign to each other prior to their invitation at Radar Publishing, it means that there's a lot less common ground on the surface level to work with. So the way the game goes deeper into the weeds of these two characters to bring that connection together is very impressive, and it's executed perfectly. Now, if you have played It Takes Two, then expect a pretty similar kind of gameplay loop here. Firstly, this game has to be played with two players via local split screen co-op or online, and I really want to highlight that it doesn't mean you have to buy two copies of this game. It does include a friend pass system just like It Takes Two, as well as that being completely cross-compatible, thus making this game as accessible as possible. The gameplay of Split Fiction is incredibly varied and dynamic. One moment you are playing a platformer navigating through high-rise industrial units, other times you are taming dragons to solve puzzles in mountain ruins. No two levels are the same, and throughout your journey, you can even find side stories which act as a quick little distraction to explore a fun new environment such as a whimsical farmstead, a Candyland heaven, or even some minigames such as this awesome SSX Tricky inspired mountain run. I had the pleasure of playing this game with my brother, and we both came to the conclusion that at no point did the game feel tired or fatigued, as it switches up the worlds and gameplay styles at a really good pace. But we also felt that each world was more impressive and interesting than the last, so there was never a moment of, oh, I wish I could go back to that other world. The puzzles and teamwork required were also never one-dimensional. Sure, there are those classic pull the lever on your side to open the door on my side, or you drive and I'll get on the gun type of sequences, but there were also some fantastic switch ups. There was this one moment where Zoe literally became Mother Earth and manipulated trees and the environment to help Mio advance. There was another really cool boss fight involving a pinball machine with one player being the ball and the other manipulating the paddles. Each player often has very distinct roles in each level, and it helps keep the flow of gameplay fresh and fun. Not to mention there were plenty of fun moments that paid homage to other games and media with fun Easter eggs and references.
You've got to have faith when you leap.
Even when you know how to do some of these puzzles, pulling some of these moves off together can take a couple goes, so it was never a brain dead going through the motions experience, and just like our characters Mio and Zoe, my brother and I often found ourselves egging each other on and celebrating our achievements when we conquered a tricky section. There was one side story in particular where we had to race each other above floating islands for nothing else but bragging points, and Zoe is excited saying this is going to be so fun, let's do it, and all of a sudden my brother and I switched into a competitive mode.
Up for a little race?
Are you challenging me? Why? Are you scared?
Despite the outcome of this race having absolutely no consequences, the bragging rights were all too important. I was playing as Mio, and after my character won, I laughed at how not only my brother was visibly frustrated that he choked the win, but Zoe, who he was playing as, also wanted to move on as quickly as possible despite being initially enthusiastic about the race.
What took you so long, huh? Yeah. What? That was fun. Let's get out of here. Kites rule.
It's a moment that gave Mio and Zoe a chance to have an outlet from their crazy experience and make gentle fun through a competitive race. But to almost break the fourth wall and have players naturally reciprocate those emotions towards each other was a really touching moment, and there are plenty of those throughout. Split Fiction at no point felt stale and never overstayed its welcome. It can take you anywhere from 12 to 16 hours to complete, depending on if you do every minigame and side story, and it fully earns its $50 US price tag. Hazelight Studios have well and truly found their niche, and Split Fiction absolutely throws everything in the kitchen sink at players without feeling out of place or forced. It is available on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC, and like I said earlier, it has full cross-platform compatibility with an inclusive friends system to make sure everybody can jump in on the fun. While we are in March, I don't feel that I'm at all jumping the gun here to say that this very well could be a contender for those Game of the Year awards. With impressively crafted worlds, dynamic, chaotic gameplay, and a story encouraging maximum creativity, leaving nothing off limits, Split Fiction is not just a title I highly recommend, but one that showcases the most important element of gaming, and that's to just have fun.
You did something way more epic than that. Look at all of this. It's amazing.
Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, then please consider subscribing so you don't miss out on my upcoming videos. Don't forget to leave a like and comment below with your thoughts on Split Fiction. And feel free to check out the channel to see more videos like this one. Thank you so much for watching. Lancy out.